And we're on. Not too bad today. Um Hi everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Bit madness going on today. Hope it's not too bad for everyone. I'm just chilling. Hey there. Yeah, I'm not the one on this side. Hello, hello, hello. Um yeah, I'm here. Please do not do that. Do not do that. Do not do that. I mean, I know we all want to. Again, we have the emotional dumpster support here. Where is it? Come on. Focus, buddy. Focus. Maybe I'll put it on here. It'll be easier. Hi, I'm your emotional. Everything is fine. Emotional. Emotional trash burning dumpster fire. It's your emotional support plush. Uh, yeah. So life is happening. Life's a thing. I don't know what else to say. Um, I really don't want to sit and dwell on things. It's not going to be healthy for anyone. So I'm here. I'm going to work on Niffty. And I realized I don't know if I can get the arm out of my serger before I went live. I was like, wait, let me try to set up my serger. And I'm like, it's stuck. I can't get it out. So we'll probably work on that a little bit and make sure I can get that ready, because if I can't get that arm out, I don't know what's gonna happen because I need my serger. But yeah, that's it. Thankfully my kid woke up pretty calm. We have pretty much kept him from news and all this madness because he's 14, he's a kid, he should be a kid, and I'm happy that he wasn't greatly affected by anything. If he's hiding it, that's a different story, but he didn't seem to be too. Either way, he didn't seem to care. I hope he wasn't repressing anything, because social media and YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff, it must be feeding him a whole bunch of stuff. So I am just here to support, and I'm trying to like keep a cool head for him more than anybody. Seeing him this morning gave me a little more perspective after I woke up and saw the results, which is a good thing because sometimes we need perspective put into things. So that's it. And I figured I just come on, chill, craft, try to finish this dress, because I literally have only worked on it during stream, so nothing gets done off stream. Very few things get done off stream. I think the only thing I did off stream was sew pockets into the skirt, and that was it. I haven't done anything else. So let me try to get that arm out of my serger, and I'll show you what I mean. Do do do. Boom. So okay, that's my sewing machine. We're gonna go to the serger, which is over here. Let's turn. So there's supposed to be an arm that stands up here, but it's not standing up because I put it in there when I moved. Because the last time I did something with this, I'll show you now. I broke this arm, which is where you feed the threads into it, and I didn't want to break it, so I took it off. But the little piece that kind of attaches to it up here fell in here. So now I have to try to fish that out. So that's gonna be fun. I'm hoping by using the serger things, I can get it out. Wait. Guess not. My excitement for a moment diminished. I thought I could have used my magnet. Oh, wait. Okay. I'm gonna try to lean it down. And see what I can do. Now, mind you, I did think about this when I moved, but I clearly didn't think enough. I'm gonna try to flip it upside down. I don't know if that's gonna work. We could try. Riveting stream content right now. Fighting with my serger. Come on. You're right there, buddy. Don't fail me now. Come on. Come on. Come on. Aha! Success! Somehow. Somehow I was able to do this. Okay. So I successfully got the metal rod out. So now I can put this away properly. Whew. I was worried there for a minute. I seriously was. I was like, I can't get this out. We're gonna have problems. Life is gonna suck even more. I was like, please let something good happen. I need some luck on my side right now. I don't have much at the moment. Sometimes the small successes and victories we have in life we should celebrate. Because clearly, everything else is trash. Trust me, I had zero hopes for my current state. Hopes for North Carolina. I'm happy they didn't vote in that crazy slave Nazi lover. I'm glad he didn't win. But aside from that, I knew Tennessee would stay red. Red, 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 red. But there's... Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Even though we have a projected winner, I know this is not the end of any of this. It's gonna be so much aftermath that we're gonna have to deal with that honestly I think it's just gonna be just as bad as waiting for results. So we're not done yet, unfortunately. Let's see. Yeah, but I wound up dealing, I feel like I know I still have a lot of anxiety, a lot of anger and frustration because I still feel it. I find myself clenching my jaw every few moments. I'm just doing things and I'm like, why am I clenching my jaw? Because I'm still anxious. This is gross in here. Holy cow. Don't be a snowflake. Snowflake. I'm so confused and lost. Yeah, I keep clenching my jaw. Like, I keep feeling like the pressure here. Yeah, how dare I have feelings? Yeah, no, but I do have a lot of like tension in my jaw, and I need to like I'm constantly stretching my mouth like so I can stop doing it, but it's involuntary. Okay. Where'd she go? Oh, is it here? Feelings are allowed here. We talk about feelings. Although I'm very confused because I can't find my brush to dust out the wonderful amount of dust that's inside this serger. Where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, this is tragic. Okay, now I don't feel so bad. I found it. My serger is still like suffering from when I did eye earlier this year. So it's has all this pink in it. Let me go get my Swifter so I can dust up the table now that I've dusted out the interior of this machine. Yikes. Okay. So now you're only allowed to talk about bloodlusts. Girl, you're just gonna like forever live in a D&D campaign. Oh, that was Yoda. No, that's Usako. Usako is forever in bloodlust. Okay. Do I remember how to actually thread my serger? I do. I actually do. It's not like I don't know what I'm doing. Why is it being a butthead? Be nice to me today. Come on. The serger was nice. I just need a new tripod for my webcam. That's what it is. It doesn't like me. Actually, you know what? Let's just leave it here because this is just going to be a pain in the butt. It's easier to just keep it here and then move things to it than anything else. Why did you go on an angle so poorly? Come on, buddy. Okay. I'm gonna get my other tripod. This is annoying me. Maybe that's what I need to do. Setup is so hard sometimes. Especially since the tripod does not function the way it should. There we go. I will be 100% honest. I am very happy I am not teaching. No! You bum. This is why I don't like this tripod. Swap her out. Give her life. Really? Come on now. Continue. Wait, let me do it this way. Because at least this way, I can angle it down. There we go. That works. Yay, figured it out again. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to be threading that machine. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to thread it. It does say how to thread it. Supposedly you're not supposed to follow it completely. I've seen people say that it works if they do it a different way. I just tend to follow the way I've always done it. I do notice with this machine, for some reason, the needles tend to oddly stick together. I don't know if it's just my machine, something happened to it or whatnot, but it does give me a hard time. Let me go grab my scissors. Yeah, but I woke up this morning with a lot of tension in my jaw. And feeling really sensitive with my clothes. So I had a pair of leggings on, and leggings were not comfy today. So I had to put on my big baggy pants because no. There we go. I realized the tunes weren't being shared. So I had to put on my looser fit pants and just chill with that because my body is super sensitive today to everything. So it's just like, ugh, everything's bothering it. I don't need to break out in hives, that's for sure. Okay. Oh, I think we got this. I've always been relatively good at threading my serger. Would I like a serger that does like air threading? Absolutely. That would be fantastic. But those are a lot of money, though. Again, we work with what we have. I don't have the best Cricut in the market, but I like my Cricut. My Cricut lets me do things, so that's all that matters. Would I like a better sewing machine? Maybe. Although I like my sewing machine. I think my sewing machine does everything I need it to do at the moment, so I don't need anything fancier than what I've got. And the serger, though, the air threading would be super awesome. It's not completely necessary, I will admit. It's more of a matter of convenience than anything, so. Come on, stay open. This reminds me, I have to get our kitchen cleaver to the knife sharpening place, as well as some of my sewing scissors. So we have that ready. I want the cleaver sharpened for Thanksgiving, so we have that all ready to go. That would be a good thing to do. I gotta price it and see how much it costs. It is genuinely nice that we have a sharpening place down the road from where we live. And it does all different types of things. It does blades, scissors, knives. I don't know if they sharpen swords, but maybe. You know, go over there and bring a machete and see if they liked it. Hey, do you mind sharpening my machete? Just in case, you know, gotta prepare for the worst right now. I should do that. Go to Puerto Rico and pick up a machete just to have it on hand. That would be kind of funny. Okay. I think should be able. Will it reach? We'll find out. Everything is like through a extension cord over here. Because although I have outlets, nothing is like right in the middle of the room, so constantly pull in a different extension cord for my use. So let's see. Great success. Great success. Okay. So I have both the serger and the sewing machine set up. I'm going to test the serger out first. Make sure she's running properly before anything else. foolish things I didn't think of at the time. I didn't think to save some more of my scrap fabric because I didn't realize I was going to serge something. Thankfully, I have fabric that's similar to it, so I can test it regardless. So anybody got anything fun planned? Something to help ease minds coming up? Because currently, right now, I'm just chilling. If you've been on my Instagram, you know I've been watching Gilmore Girls. That has become therapy for me. Not because I've never seen the show. I was an avid fan when it was premiering. It's just one of those comfort shows I haven't seen in a while. So I've just been watching Gilmore Girls. In fact, I watched an episode before I got ready to stream, just because I wanted a good laugh. I wanted to get those cozy vibes, you know, New England fall vibes. So that felt good. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed that quite a bit. So all was good in the hood there. Okay, since I got the serger up and running, I might as well serge the skirt pieces so that can get attached. Let's move this over here. Why is it so close, I realize? Oh my. Let's try to fix that. Oh, there we go. That's more like it. Okay. We had like this massive zoomed up look view of what it was. That should be a little more helpful. Yeah. Everything's just like not working. I need to get a better tripod. I keep saying that and I have yet to get a better tripod. Kind of annoying, I know. Sorry. Let's see. Okay, serging the skirts. So I've been hanging the skirts just so the hems level out because that is needed when you deal with these things. So let's see. I'm gonna do a very tight edge seam on this. If you are curious, we're currently listening to the Chill Hop music channel on streaming. I used to use Chill Hop all the time when teaching. It was like one of my favorite tools. Used to do a timer and just have like their videos playing on the side. So I would have like on a slide, I'd have the work period that says, hey, this is what we're doing in school today. This is what you need to work on. And I would have a timer that would tell them how long they had on work time. And then I would hyperlink a little, I would have the video hyperlinked so they would get to see like the scenic pictures and like the little video that the Chill Hop people would create, because I loved how it wasn't just, oh, let's just have music playing and like a static background. It's an actual video with different animations and stuff. Plus, like, it's animals. Like, it's humanized animals. Why would I not love that? So, ironically, I would go into deep discussions with some of the classes about like what we saw in some of the videos and what we thought was happening. We would create our own narratives based off the video and the music. So, very on brand for an English class, you know? Let's create a narrative. Okay, so we have this edge is serged. Awesome. I'm going to serge around the pocket now. Actually, no, I'll serge around the pocket after I sew it together. I just wanted to make sure the pocket edge was sewn, so it's serged. So now it's nice and clean. It won't fray. I could have easily done this by like French seaming it, but I didn't add that much seam allowance to this, and serging is just as fine. Again, I am not competing in this costume. This costume is for funsies, and it's more just to make sure the garment is functional and will withstand like getting washed and stuff like that, and wear and tear more than living by a competition standard. Now, if I was competing in this, I probably would like fully line the whole thing or French seam this or bias bind the skirt piece. Actually, no, if I was competing in this, it would have a lining and it would have a built-in petticoat and all these other frills. But we're not going with that. We're like all about making the garment functional. Hello? How about now? Okay. Something must have happened with the cord then. Yeah, that's probably what happened. I don't know. This mic has been so good to me though. That's why I unplugged the mic and plugged it back in and it worked. Okay, that works. I was confused. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. Yes, plants. So I got a snake plant. So excited. I've wanted a snake plant. Ugh, it's cool. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, no, my snake plant. I got a snake plant. So excited about that. Yeah, and I would be careful where you are too. No, there is no rodents here. Unless you're talking about the capybara that are behind you, Kuro. It's funny, Kuro's working from home today, and part of him is saying it because he doesn't want to deal with some construction in his office. But I honestly think he's doing it because he wants to make sure I'm okay, which I'm grateful for. Yes, capybara. Capybara, capybara. I hope that doesn't get copyrighted. As I shoot myself. Oh, so it's parody? Okay, good to know. Yeah, so I repotted my pathos, which I had in my old house that was doing beautifully, and then suddenly stopped, doing its thing. And I think the roots were coming out of the pot and they were exposed, which was causing it to slowly not get enough nutrients. So I repotted it in hopes that it continues to thrive because I have like two branches that continue to work. I'm sure. But I secretly want to believe you're staying home for me. Like, definitely. Like, I want to feel that I am part of that decision. But also because of that, I've closed my door and now the room's getting hot, and that's why I took my sweater off. So, yikes. Uh, and let's just be for real, they're doing it during working hours because of where we live, and no one is going to do things after working hours because no one apparently works after like banker hours in this area. Like, I don't get it. Even the utilities are a pain in the butt to get after working hours. Okay. So that got searched. That's good to go. Do I need to surge anything else? I don't think so, but I won't unplug the machine yet. Okay, so we got that done. I do need to serge the hem, but I gotta put the skirt together before I do that. So that's gotta wait. Let's see what's going on here. Nothing. Okay, so let's try. Let me get this off this table before it falls again. I didn't mean to send you an exclamation mark. I don't know why that went through. Okay. I'm just excited that you're here watching this while you're probably watching some anime. I don't know what anime you're watching right now. Okay. I know you're working, but you have to wait for emails to come through and do all these other things and do silly training and all that good stuff. Okay. Okay. So last time when we left off, I had pinned my sleeves onto my bodice. And I was trying to pin the sleeves onto my lining and realized I kept making mistakes. So I need to finish pinning this on. But then a small thought came into my head. Why don't I interface the sleeves to make sure they maintain the puffiness? So I haven't sewn anything on, and I thought maybe I should just interface the sleeves a little, but since I already kind of have them gathered and stuff like that, I'm not gonna do that and kind of hope for the best. I did think for a minute what I could do is take some tulle that I have and make like a little sleeve ruffle or a sleeve like support that I can go and sew onto the actual lining sleeve to give it a little bit more oomph. Or actually not necessarily the lining, put it on the actual sleeve itself, like the fashion sleeve, so I could ensure it maintains its puff. So yeah. But yeah, this one was giving me a hard time, man. It was not cool. I was just like, why are you being difficult? Stop being so mean to me. Because the sleeves didn't like me. So, but I finally got them to be in the right position. Originally, I was sewing the left sleeve in the right sleeve, and it was a mess. I did it correctly with the fashion layer, not the lining. So that was where some of my drama came. So I'm going to just put these here for now. I'm going to pin the lining sleeve on correctly this time, now that I have them in the correct spots. And then we can sew them together, and I will then make the sleeve support for the fashion layer to make sure it has the puff that I would like to maintain as I wear it. Because my concern is, even though it will be gathered and pleated in some way, or shape, or form, it will not have the cute volume I'm looking for as I wear it. So having the support will help out. So let's pin this sleeve properly on this lining. And for all those that missed out, I sewed in this adorable little tag that says handmade on it because I want to start using labels on my costume. Eventually, I would love to like actually get personalized sewing labels so it could say made by Wisty, and I'm just like, that'd be so cute. Or just have it say simply Wisty. Oh. Goals, man. Sewing goals. Should start entering competitions and making money. Or trying to. I don't necessarily think I'd immediately win something, so I am not that full of myself. Alright. I forgot to unruffle this so I can easily... Aha. Oh no. This one's staying a little ruffled, so we'll just smooth her out as best we can. Oh, I forgot to put on socials that I'm online. I guess I should probably do that, because I know no one's gonna remember my schedule after the madness of last night, so let's add this in so people can see what we're up to. Okay, let's rotate this and do this. So yeah, how did I forget? I was gonna do it, and then I guess, oh yes, my serger woes. My concern that I couldn't get the arm out of my serger completely left me out of sorts. I realize the calendar in the background still says October. Oh well, it says nothing terrible. There we go. Just chilling, just chilling, just chilling. Oh, I should probably leave it like that. Look at that. That's kind of cool. The things I realize after the fact. Do, 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 do. We'll do it like this. Boom. Come on. Really? Bums. So rude. Whatever. Okay. Alrighty. let's continue to try to pin this sleeve on. I put myself on social media. I normally don't do that. I need to start practicing and getting in the habit of doing that more frequently. So, again, let us find the center of the sleeve. Though it's not going to be perfect today because this is already kind of like locked in together. My bad. Again, I had confusion. It was not fun. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, so center to center, and then we'll just gather because I'll just be the easiest way to ensure that I do this as neatly as possible. Again, I could math, but I don't math. I go by vibes. We've got like some sweet moments of chaos over here. Okay, so let's gather and make her fit. Do, 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 do. Oh, so aside from planting and like, oh, Monday, yeah, Monday, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like, we're gonna self-care, we're gonna just like really get myself comfortable. And did my nails, and before I even started my day, I got a book from the library, like a digital copy, because I try to read books frequently, but I sometimes go through like book dry spells. And I've currently been in one. I really haven't finished one. I think I've been listening to A Court of Thorn and Roses since the summer. I generally listen to audiobooks while I walk, and I haven't gone on a long walk, so I'm doing it sporadically. And I sat down on Monday and read the most adorable young adult high school romance, which is called Dungeons and Drama. It's by, I have a picture of it. It's by, let's see, Instagram. I think it's Chrissy something. I have to look at it. And it was adorable. Yeah, Christy Boynes. And it's just a really cute romantic comedy about it's a young adult romantic comedy, so it's high school students. They are doing they are fake dating, and it's a gamer guy. He plays video games, tabletops, and works in a gaming store, and her dad owns it, and she's like a pure out theater chick who loves musicals and all this stuff like that. So they're both on like the nerd spectrum, but on different sides. And she kind of gets forced into working at her dad's gaming shop because she was she basically stole her mom's car to drive to see a production of Waitress, and she didn't get caught, but and she didn't get like hurt or anything like that. So her parents are like, okay, in order to like gain your trust back, we don't trust you at home alone, so we're just gonna force you to work at your dad's shop. And she kind of doesn't want to work there. She'd rather be working on the theater production of the musical at the school. And she meets the kid who's the gamer guy, and she like doesn't like him at first. He's her coworker, and it's basically their antics. And one of the ways they start getting close is because he and his friends are playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons, and she kind of gets pulled into the game, and it's so cute. It's like there's moments I was laughing out loud because the antics were just very realistic, very close to a nerdy experience, especially when you have nerds from like different spectrums. So because not every theater nerd is a gamer nerd. Most of the time, they're very like much in theater and music or band, and the gamers are not into any of that either. So it was funny watching them intersect. So I thought it was a very cute romance. It was a very kid romance. It was very like high school centered, which was fine. I needed something silly and cute and adorable, and it was refreshing. So I enjoyed that. I have a book that I want to read next that's actually very like, it's a middle grade book, and one of the reasons why I want to read it, and it's funny because it kind of has to tie with like everything happening politically. It has a lot to do with how you have so many people doing these crazy book bans, but they don't even know what these books are about, and they're just banning them essentially haphazardly because it may have something that they themselves are not all about. And it's a book, I know her, she has like series of middle grade books, and if you don't know what middle grade books are, they're just books for like fourth through seventh grade, like, you know, that middle age. So it's Kelly Yang. She is an Asian author, and she basically has written a whole bunch of series, and it's called The Front Desk. And some of like the conservative groups are running around saying the book has like critical race theory in it. And I was like, it's a middle grade book about a girl working at her parents, like the front desk at her parents, like hotel or Airbnb or something. And I'm like, how is this critical race theory? I need to read this to see what they're thinking. So I'm going to be reading that one pretty shortly because it's going to be pretty quick. It's not a long book. And middle grade books are pretty simple to read because, again, they're like for on a fifth grade level. Yeah, it does. And I think that's the only reason. Because her parents are immigrants, and she's an Asian girl. I think that's the only reason. Because that's the only, I'm like, why is it that? I'm like, it looks like a cute, wholesome book, so I'm gonna read it. So, well, I mean, in that case, Dungeons and Drama, the young adult romance I just read, has absolutely bunches of critical race theory of the, not even, it's like, it's riddled with like this, progressive agenda. They're friends with a gay couple, and the gay couple helps them out and like helps save the day. I mean, granted, the main characters are like very like white coded, like cisgender heterosexual people, but it's just kind of funny. Yeah, no, it's true. Like, I mean, but like I said, there's one of the characters, like one, like the main character, she's best friends with somebody who's like Japanese. The guy is friends with someone who's gay, somebody, and the gay guy is dating a black gay guy, and I'm like, oh no, everyone's gonna be at arms about this. They kiss, heaven forbid. So it was cute though, but I want to read Front Desk because I'm very curious to see where the thought process comes in. I know there's no thought process because half the books they want to ban, they're not problems. Although I laugh because like some of the ones they do ban are like classics too. So I'm just like, I don't know what you want. What type of what books what books do you want these kids reading? I'm sure they would find something wrong with like Nancy Drew or Sweet Valley High, and those are things I grew up on. Loved Nancy Drew and Sweet Valley High. Um, and I'm sure they would find issues with them too. Not gonna lie. Especially since like Nancy Drew was kind of like Scooby Doo and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess down here they're not run by Koreans. Yeah, so I have that book. I want to read it. I was gonna read it yesterday, but I started my Gilmore Girls marathon, and I was just vibing with the Gilmore, so I just stuck with it. Also, too, I was dealing with plants, and I can't read and deal with plants at the same time. Though I could have read A Court of Thorn and Roses. Now that's crazy and funny, because that book, no high schooler, middle schooler should be reading that book. That book is adult all the way, and yet all the kids are reading it, and the parents are like, oh, it's okay. And I'm like, yeah, because it's a white Zionist who wrote the book, and that's why you're okay with it. Let's just be for real. So and I will admit, A Court of Thorn and Roses, as I read it, I do like, I vibe with it, because it's not like it's a terrible storyline, but there are plenty of moments that are supposed to be super serious, and they're like laughable. Like, I laugh at them because I'm like, this is so ridiculous. Like, what? Are you like, you seriously thought that was like okay? I literally roll my eyes as I listen to that book. I'm just like, oh, okay. Don't get me wrong. The fantasy, the romance, the whole being swept off your feet and like falling in love with like a fae dude and stuff like that. Cool beans, no problem. But like the romance is so like cringy and like very, very like awkward. Though it is what people want, convention wise, in a book. Like they want that. They want that broody man coming to save the, like, that's what they're looking for. It's part of the market. And I'm like, okay. Don't get me wrong. It's like, as you read it, you get caught up in the moment. But then, like, after you look at it and think about it, you're like, would I really want that to happen? Like, that's kind of, no. So, although it is one of the funniest things, because I saw so many people comparing that book to Howl's Moving Castle, basically saying that every man she meets in the fairy court is one type of like Howl. So you have like the blonde hair Howl, you have the red-headed Howl, the black-haired Howl. Like, each one of them basically has his character, like Howl's different characteristics when he changes his hair. And I'm like, oh my god, I see it, and I have not been able to unsee it. And I heard those reviews before I even read the book. So when I started reading the book, I was like, wow, they were so right about that. Although I will admit, I am not clever enough to notice that. So I wouldn't have thought of it until I was told that Rhysand, Lucian, and oh my god, it's Rhysand, Lucian, and I am forgetting the main guy's name. Holy cow. It may not come to me at all. They're each Howl, varying personalities. So yeah, it's one of those things. I'm going to have to look up his name because it's gonna bug me that I don't remember his name. Main male characters in A Court of Thorn and Roses. Rhysand. No. Tamlin, that's who it is. I am like, who is it? And mind you, this is like the one she falls in love with, Tamlin. And I'm like, I remember the other two, Lucian and Rhysand. I don't remember Tamlin. Tamlin's forgettable. Tamlin's the blonde Howl, by the way. Rhysand is the dark-haired one, the black-haired one, and Lucian's the red-haired Howl versions. But wow, I am embarrassed. I forgot that it's Tamlin. And I'm like thinking, I'm like, what is it? I can't remember. That was embarrassing. Oops. Sorry. To anyone who loves A Court of Thorn and Roses, I am not going to hate on you for that. I just could not remember his name. And mind you, that's the one she's currently, like, fighting to save, Tamlin, and I couldn't remember his name. Again, I don't hate the book. I don't really get it. Like, I don't get why it has, like, such acclaim and stuff like that. Especially right now. I will say, like, I vaguely remember the answer to the riddle, but I don't remember the answer. I know I heard what the answer to the riddle was, and everyone was like, duh, that's so easy. And I heard the riddle, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. So, clearly, I'm not good with riddles. So, oops. So, I'm kind of in Feyre's, position at the moment. Again, though, I like read these books just so I can keep up with like the conventions in romantic fantasy and what women are looking for. I do not care for romantic fantasy in the sense that I like my fantasy to have a little bit more meat to it, not just like pure romance. And a lot of these, they try to fuse fantasy elements in, but they never really like hit home the way it should be written. There's nothing wrong with romancing your fantasy, but don't forget there's supposed to be fantasy involved. And just because like she falls in love with a vampire or something doesn't automatically make it like just fantasy. Like, how do the vampires work in your world? Like, there's so many layers to it. So I just like seeing what people are reading. So I know that's a very popular one. So that's one I'm watching. I am currently sewing the sleeves on. Again, I'm doing my 5/8 of an inch seam allowance on here. Just following the guide. And if I get a pucker or two, it's not a big deal. I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm just talking about just because you put some girl with a vampire doesn't automatically make it fantasy. You have 3, then you gotta start over. What are you talking about, Kira? I'm confused. Kiro, don't confuse me. Yeah, I'm just laughing because I'm trying to maintain some idea. It was funny though because like I'll be the first to say I like reading stuff that may not be the best writing. Yeah, like that's essential. You know how many books have that vibe? Literally, they have that vibe, and like that's it. Like that's the extent of the fantasy. Okay, maybe there's like other magical creatures. Yay, that's about it. So. I'll admit, like, I read Fourth Wing. I liked it for what it was. Will I say it's a great piece of literature? Absolutely not. It had a lot to be desired. Actually found it funny because I saw a headline for an article because apparently Amazon is someone, I think it's Amazon, they are making a TV series of Fourth Wing. They're saying, oh, the TV series can fix some of the issues of the story. And I'm just like, that's terrible. The TV series has to fix a novel. The issues, like, the issues within the novel. So in order to get a better idea of what the story was supposed to be, you have to watch the TV show. Like, that's terrible. That's not cool at all. Like, isn't that what editors were for? Wasn't that what's supposed to happen in the editing process? So yeah. Clearly, that's not the deal anymore, and you can just write a book, and it doesn't matter if it you know works or not. If it gets picked up by TV company or like a movie film industry, they will fix it for you, the problems. And I'm just like, okay. The one I am probably going to watch, despite the fact that I cannot stand the book. And if people like this book, I'm, you know, hey, you can like whatever you want. I did not like it. Is From Blood and Ash. That is also, I think, being picked up by Netflix or Amazon or one of those. And I'm just curious to see how they translate that book into a series. Because I did not care for it. I did not love the main guy. He had very odd, like, I want to say he has Astarian vibes. He's a vampire as well. That's the funny thing. The character in From Blood and Ash is a vampire. I think his name's Prince Cassian, but we know him as Hawk from like half the book. And he does have heavy Astarian vibes in the sense that he has a lot of manipulative tactics. He kind of like has those gaslighty moments. And that is not like a character I vibe with. I vibe with them because I like those types of villains, but it was a poorly written version of Astarian, I feel. Like, I like Astarian in Baldur's Gate because I like the way he's written. I think he's a well-written character, a well-written, flawed character. The guy from Blood and Ash, not so much. So, however, I still want to see what it looks like because as a reader, I can envision things at times and other times I can't. And I'll be honest, that was a book I had a very hard time personally coming up with a mental image of what everything looked like. And normally I can do that with ease, and for some reason that book gave me a hard time. I had a hard time like visualizing the vibe and the feel of it. So I'm curious to see what it looks like or what they want to say it looks like. So and I really want to see who they pick to do these characters, like Hawk and Poppy and stuff. Because I'm curious. Also too, like, I'm not gonna lie, if oh my god, what was his name again? Oh yeah. If in the Fourth Wing production the main guy, Xaden, doesn't have any odd resemblance to Prince Zuko from Avatar, I'm going to be very mad. Because that's what I envisioned. I envisioned like a Zuko-like character the entire time. Because he gave me those vibes. Doesn't have to be a complete carbon copy, but if he doesn't exude Prince Zuko from the Fire Nation, I will be very upset. He's gotta have that vibe. Because that's what I kept seeing every time they mentioned his name. But I can't tell you what Hawk from Blood and Ash looked like in my head. I can't. Like, I've tried to think of it, and all I kept seeing was just like a smirk, like a smirky grin the entire time. That's it. That's all I saw. A smirky grin and a hot body. But I think all these guys have hot bodies because they always talk about like the men and their hot bodies, and I'm like, okay. Is there anything else about them that's not a hot rock hard body? Because it's also like no matter how lean and thin they might be, they're just like rock solid muscle, and I'm like, how is this possible? Like, what is going on here? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, obviously we've seen Olympians, and we know that like you could be thin and like still like very muscular. But I'm confused. I'm a confused person. So. But I will most likely watch the From Blood and Ash television production just so I can see what it's about. There are people that are like rabid about that series. I listened to the first book, was not pleased with it. It took a long time to listen to it because I liked it even less than I did A Court of Thorn and Roses. But I stuck through it and I listened to it, and I will never get back those 14 hours ever. And here I am contemplating listening to the rest of the series. Just so I know what happens, because now it's more, it ended on a cliffhanger, the first book, and I was just like, okay, I kind of want to know what happens next, but I also kind of don't care. And I kind of want the Cliff Notes version, but at the same time I know I kind of have to experience it. I'm just like, oh, this is annoying. Okay. Almost blessed seams, not complete blessed seams, but we have the lining done, so that's good. So we got the lining of my shirt, my thing. Oh my. There we go. Okay. Why does this feel tight? That does not feel good. Something's wrong here. Hold on. Well, actually, what am I doing? It's supposed to go this way. Because this goes on the inside, not the outside. So it should feel a little weird right now. Probably also feels weird because I'm trying it on with a shirt on, but there we go. Let's see. My shirt's over here. Okay. Let's put the let's put the sleeves on the shirt. Okay, time to put the sleeves on here. I kind of wonder if that other book I read that was equally bad continued having their movie deal, because there was a book that supposedly had a movie deal before it even released, because the author had a relatively large TikTok following, so a lot of people, like, she got instant marketing. She got immediately picked up by a publishing house, mainly because they didn't have to do any of the marketing work for her. And the book was a bomb. And I read that book, and as I was reading the book, I was just like, what? That makes no sense. How did... Okay. Alright. I guess so. Like, a lot of it was very question mark on me when I read it, and it had a sequel because it was a duology, and I honestly, I saw some people like mention like it's just as bad as the first one, and I was like, oh my gosh. I don't even know like what they were gonna be doing in the sequel. I kind of knew because like there was, ooh, plot twist, and it was just like, this is a really awkward plot twist, but okay. Everything was strange. Like, I've noticed that now about writing. You don't have to be a super eloquent writer as long as you have something that hooks in the book talk girlies and like social media. They immediately like, they'll pick it up, they'll market it. You will get a lot of fame, a lot of money for something that isn't necessarily clever or witty. It could be mediocre as long as it hits those pitch points of having some type of bad boy as the lover, some, you know, pretty female that is the damsel in distress, but yet at the same time has like wild, odd Wonder Woman vibes. Like, she can do it all. She's a force to be reckoned with, but she also needs this guy to save her. It all works out. It's very formulaic. Throw in a couple of POCs and like somebody who might have like somebody that's on the LGBTQ spectrum, and you're good to go. Like, that's all you need to make a good book now. No, I have not capitalized on it yet because I can't write like that. I mean, I could, but it would have no soul, and that's the problem. Like, I like books that have soul in them. Yes, you are going to be working forever. Clearly. You are going to be working forever, honey. I'm sorry. Yeah, but they don't, they're not very like good books. At least not ones that they're catchy, and don't get me wrong, they are. I think what it is, it's like, for me personally, the books are the books that are being published now are like instant gratification. They're a blip in the radar for a moment, but they don't withstand the test of time, and that's the problem I have with it. Like, it'll be popular for now, and then afterward, nothing, unless, you know, somebody gets wind of it after the hype has died down and stuff. It's very much like what anime is at the moment. Anime does the same thing. Like, everything is, it's cool for now, and then like easily forgotten. And I think that's where a lot of entertainment is at the moment. Like, things aren't timeless, and you don't find people returning to things over and over again. No, you're right. I should do that, which is actually funny because like the one that, again, I'm trying to find the story that makes me wanna like punch something out real fast. Kind of has those kitschy elements in it. It's still very me, but not as me as I would push for. It is something that's really more tailored toward the market, and I didn't think I could find something that I would enjoy or characters I'd like that match the market at the moment, which is something I normally don't try to do. I don't try to match the market, but it is a good strategy. I'm not going to say it's a bad one. There's a lot of people out there that are doing it and they are successful little beings. So I keep forgetting to pull out the pins. Oh no, where'd it go? It's in here somewhere. Ah, got it. Woohoo! Okay. Stop it. Stop with the blasphemy of one of my favorite anime teachers. All of which are like similarly coded. Okay. Stop. So are you gonna cook dinner tonight, Masterful Cat? Because you're home? I'm joking. I can totally cook. What are you gonna buy? Okay. I'm going to sew the skirts together. Let me put the arm back on it. Yeah, so I had taken off this piece of my machine so I can do the sleeves easier. But now I'm going to do the skirts, so I need that back together. So let's put the skirts together and the pockets. Hopefully that would work out for me. And I can maybe put this dress together before... Okay, I thought it was that time. I was like staring because I couldn't see the time clearly. I was like, what time is it? Okay, so we have the pocket pieces. Okay, I'm trying to remember how I did my eye skirt. So obviously I have to sew around the pocket itself. Something did not match up here. It's okay. We'll do it. We'll do it like that. Okay. So Okay, we have to go all the way around. Make sure this is good. And call it. And sew them up. When I was adjusting them, some of it shapes got warped and all, but I can fix that later. I'm not gonna be too particular about it now. Let's see. Okay. There we go. One side. Next side. I'm oddly getting hungry. I don't know why. I ate too. I ate a nice little breakfast this morning, and yet I'm like, I'm getting hungry. Clearly, my body wants me to go into a food coma, I think. My body is like, must consume all things. Okay. I feel like I did something wrong on the other skirt. I'm gonna look at something because I think I did something wrong on the other side, because this side matched up a lot better than the other one, and I feel like I did. I think I know what mistake I made, and I really hope I didn't make it. But we'll find out. Because if I did, that sucks. Because then I'm gonna have to reposition everything, and I don't want to do that. But sometimes it needs to be done, so it's done correctly. So essentially I'm just pinning the pieces together, because when I sew it, I'm just gonna sew from here around into here and then down the side seam of the skirt. And then after I do that, I will iron it together and then put it towards the back, and then I can sew it onto the waistband up here. But since this is going to sit inside the waistband, I can't sew it together because then I won't have access to it. So I just have to keep it open until I iron it flat, and then I will sew it into place on the waistband correctly. But for now, we're just gonna sew around it. But I think I made a mistake on the first one, and I will show it to you momentarily. Because here, this joined easily, and this isn't so radical. On this side, it's a really big difference, and this pocket didn't line up. So I have a sneaking suspicion I put the pocket on the wrong side, which I could have avoided had I put the notches on the skirt, as I should had, but I didn't. So this is why notches turn out to be a great tool in sewing, because you remember where if you put things on the right side. So let's just double check this real fast. So oh no, I guess I did put it on the right side. Okay. Something happened here then. I just don't know what. Okay, let's put her flat. where she needs to be. Let's put you flat where you need to be. So, okay, I didn't mess it up. I still should have put notches in the skirt to make sure I did it correctly, because clearly I messed something up. Something got warped in here. Yeah, the pockets totally got warped somehow. Yeah, something happened big time with these pockets. They are not lining up the way they should. Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll fake it till we make it. Because that's going to be a thing right now. Faking until we make it. Okay, so I have to sew it on a higher scale. What's here? Yeah, they're way misshapen. Okay. When I adjusted the pocket, I think that's what happened. So it's all right. We'll sew the pocket up here then, and then just go around as best we can. I'm gonna lose some of the pocket up here. It's gonna be a little more narrow on one side than the other, but that's fine. I'm not going to stress it too much, but yeah, something happened when I was adjusting the pockets to fit the pattern better. On one of these pockets, I must have made a error in my adjustment, so it happens. I think I put the wrong pocket on the wrong part of the skirt, so I think that's where a lot of it's stemming from. Oh, I get the joke now. Wow, that's such a delayed joke, but I get what you're talking about now. Because that's what he would give, the beer he would give her to drink whenever she came home from work. Oh my god, how did... I'm just like staring at it and I'm just like, what does he mean by I guess I can go buy some Asahi? And I was like, what is he talking about? Acai. I was like, what is he talking about? And it's like, oh, that's the beer he would buy her. Holy cow. How did I not? I'm telling you all, I am a smart person in terms of like books and studying and reading and all that stuff. I'm very well versed. When it comes to like silliness and jokes, it will go over my head. Go over my head like well over my head, and it takes me a moment to realize what's going on. So that's a me thing, not anybody else's problem. Okay, we gotta sew those skirt panels together. Let's see what's going on today. I don't think we got another package, did we? We got a package this morning. Apparently FedEx just likes dropping off packages at like 9 o'clock in the morning at my house, because the second FedEx package that has shown up like bright and early in the morning. So I just don't know what's going on. I got in the mail today my shoe rack for my entryway. We have been without a shoe rack since we moved, and it's driven me crazy because our shoes are just all in a line at the front door, and I'm desperate to put them away properly. So I finally found a hall tree that I liked. So it has a shoe bench with the rack underneath it, so you can put the shoes on the rack, and cubbies and hooks for the wall. That may take time to put up, because we have to remove the mirror that's on the wall, and I have to anchor that cubby properly, and that's gonna take a minute. But until then, I still have the shoe bench, which has been something I've been desperately wanting again in my life. The shoe bench. Okay, let's sew this together. Again, I'm doing an 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. I'm going to sew until the pocket juncture and then spin around so I don't out the pocket. The purpose of the pocket is to have it there. So I'm getting to the sew, like here is where the juncture of the pocket is. So I'm going to sew straight until then, and then I'll pivot. Up we go, up we go. Okay. I'm actually going to back tack to reinforce this a little and then pivot. Now, since the pocket isn't lining up properly, I actually am like guesstimating to make sure I'm doing a decent distance for the hem, so we shall see. Again, if no one has seen The Masterful Cat is Depressed Again Today, please watch that show. If you want something that gives you good feel good vibes, that's silly and outrageous, The Masterful Cat is Depressed Again Today is like peak for those vibes. And that's what Kiro is referencing in the chat. All the stuff of Masterful Cat, and that's why I called him Masterful Cat in the chat, because we are the owner and the Masterful Cat. Yeah, it's peak good vibes. Like, there's a lot of shows currently, anime shows that are out that are very peak good time feeling vibe. You could tell like a lot of them were probably like conceived or thought of like during the pandemic when everyone was kind of in that state of like despair and they wanted something lighthearted and that had some roots in reality but was really more just like fanciful, just so you could get your head out of the everyday mundane. This was, I mean, granted, the manga's been out for a bit. It was produced and it's just hysterical. But yeah, Masterful Cat. You will not be disappointed in Masterful Cat. It's like one of those, I could probably watch that show again and love every minute of it because it's just that funny. And I mean, what? And it like really, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of puts a new spin on like the, what is it? What do they, what's the whole, what's the whole stereotype? The childless cat lady. It puts a whole new spin on that, like on that stereotype, like the unmarried childless cat lady. Yeah, that it puts a whole spin on that. So yeah, I normally do not rewatch stuff. Like, I really don't, especially animes. Like, I will rewatch shows every once in a while because I do enjoy rewatching shows, especially if like there's like a sequel or something like that coming up. But Masterful Cat doesn't have a sequel. It's a single season, and I could watch it again. There was just so many things that were funny. Oh, that was the air conditioner. Suddenly, like, I heard, like, this rumble and things started, like, and I was like, are we under attack? Why is, like, the house kind of shaking? No, it was the air conditioner kicking in. My bad. My paranoia is high at the moment. So, I will be proud of myself if I get this dress put together finally, because that means I can finally move on to the apron. Holy cow. That would be a massive accomplishment for me at the moment, to be able to get this thing mostly done. That means on Friday I might be able to actually make an apron. Okay, I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched, so let me just stop talking about that, because I fear I say that and something terrible is gonna happen and we're not gonna get to we're not gonna get there. So I'm gonna stop talking about that in fear that I'm gonna screw this up. Okay. After I finish Niffty, I'm trying to figure out. And yes, I know I need to work on Yui and Hajime, but I'm trying to figure out what is another project I would like to delve into. Making trench coats and armor. Because that's what basically Hajime and Yui are. Trench coats and armor. Um, Although I should probably work on it, because I think Yui would be a really cute outfit to wear to a convention I'm going to soon, because it will be something I need to, it'd be cool to wear because it is a trench coat and it's a winter convention, so it would keep me warm. Okay, so we got the pockets into the skirt. Perfect. I'm gonna iron them. And then I think I'm gonna serge the pockets because that needs to get done. Um, that's done. That's done. I could put my top together. So I might just start pinning the top while I wait for the iron to heat up. Works. I still have a headache, a lingering headache. I had a headache yesterday from the late afternoon into the evening. And I even started my D&D session last night with a headache. And it was not fun, but thankfully I had taken medicine and it kicked in partway through the campaign. And I was just like, oh, thank goodness I can actually act without straining myself too much. And this morning I woke up and I didn't have a headache, but like I'm getting one now. And I think, aside from like all the tension, because again, I've been clenching my jaw, I think part of it is the weather. It's kind of cloudy out there. We might be getting some rain. And I don't think my head is happy with that. Let me make sure the iron's on. Okay, let's pin this together. All right, so we have the top and the lining. So actually, it's supposed to be right and wrong side together. They can't do right sides together because then it'll be incorrect. So we're doing it this way. If this doesn't give me too much drama, I will be a very happy person. I'm going to leave a little bit of it open here because I still have to do the zipper. So I'm just gonna sew up to maybe about an inch away from it to ensure that I have enough space. And yeah, so a lot of it is just making sure it's in the proper position. Again, I'm putting the lining on the wrong side, facing the right side on the outside so it can easily just be put in. Hello there. Oh, it can be fun. Sewing can be fun if you don't get frustrated. Currently, we're just pinning on the lining onto the bodice so we can sew it together and hopefully add the skirts so we can have mostly a dress done. Most of a dress done. I still have to like do the hem of the skirt and eventually get the zipper in. But I'm just trying to get the basis of the whole thing together. How has your day been? Catastrophically Emma. It's a cool name. Oh, that sounds cool. Fused glass art and jewelry. What exactly is fused glass art? I could imagine that takes a lot of time. Honestly, sewing takes quite a bit of time as well, so. Okay, something happened here. This isn't lining up properly. Oh, wow. That's cool. Do you do that professionally? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I wish I could do stuff like that. Yeah, this isn't... Oh, that's why, because this isn't cut properly. Okay, well, that would be helpful if I fix that. Okay, for some reason, that's not... Wait, maybe... I think I'm gonna hand base this down. Oh, that sounds really cool. Do you sell them anywhere, like online or something? Yeah, this didn't... Oh, that's what it is. It didn't cut properly. Oh, wow, that's really cool. I have a friend who makes jewelry. She's a jewelry maker. So she like does like welding and mixing metals and stuff. She's been doing that for a few years now. I didn't cut the facing properly, so it's not laying in all the way. Okay, let's see. Did that help a little? Maybe. Not really. Ooh. That's why it felt so tight when I put it on earlier. Okay, I'm gonna trim this down a tiny bit because it wasn't giving my neck enough room earlier when I put it on, but I thought it was my shirt, my t-shirt that I was wearing underneath it. Don't think that's the case. I think that is because I didn't cut the facing all the way properly. So let's just match it up and have it, and we're just gonna trim off a little tiny bit, and that should give me enough ease so it sits on my neck properly. Well, that's fun, I have to admit. That sounds really cool. I actually would like to see if I find the local maker community where I live. I just moved recently to a new area and don't really know much about the area, so I would like to try to find other like-minded individuals. I know one of the areas that's about an hour away from me has a pretty bustling art community, so that's something I would like to try to engage in more frequently. Okay, that should give me enough ease. Into a bougie downtown arts district. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I live in a decent community, thankfully. So I live in a nice area. It's not an artsy area, but it's got a bit of downtown life. So I haven't been to the downtown area recently. We just haven't had the opportunity to go to it. Oh, I'm doing this the wrong way. Whoops. Don't want like sides together. I want this side with this side, because if not, it's going to come out the wrong way on the other side. My bad. I was doing it right the first time. Got distracted. Like any good art form, you get distracted. You might make a silly mistake. So yeah, I didn't bother to finish the interior of the bodice because I'm lining it, so it's going to be completely covered. So this is going to be the inside. So that's why it's facing this way. Ah, we have an ad. Oh my goodness. I yeah. It happens to the best of us. It really does. As long as you can fix it, doesn't matter. I mean, granted, you have to backtrack here and there. Kind of happy I did this in the pinning stage and not after it was sewn, because that would have annoyed me. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I am glad to hear it all worked out in the end. Yeah, thankfully for sewing, unless you have cut the fabrics apart, you can almost you can almost you can fix a lot of it. But once something has been cut and it's been cut pretty close, you probably have no other choice but to restart it completely. So okay, again, I'm leaving room here so I can put in the zipper later. Okay, I think we got something here. Okay, so all right. Thank you. I have never gotten into pixel art. I've seen it. I thought it was like cool, but I've never done it. But it's cool that I got mom vibes. I am a mom after all. That would work.
What's up, Chillville? We have some news and traffic updates for you. It's looking like cloudy skies out there, so grab an umbrella if you're out and about, or cozy up indoors as we fall.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of art per se. I think the most artistic thing I tend to do is like bullet journal. So that's as far as my artistic pursuits go. I'm generally more of a fiber crafts person, so I do more sewing and stuff. I want to get into crocheting. That's something I haven't done, but my whole family has crocheted, so I could probably learn easily from one of them. Uh, I had one of my grandmothers was a seamstress, and she used to do a lot of tailoring. So I feel like I picked up the trade from her, though she passed before she could formally teach me anything. Oh, miniature dioramas. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I've seen so many people picking up pour like all those things like pour painting and miniatures just because they want something that's like soothing and calming. And I'm all for that. Like getting into like those moments of like, cozy zen stuff. All right, let's sew these two together. And hopefully it will all work out in the end. Now that's interesting. That would actually be really cool. Not gonna lie. I like that idea. Like having like a view into like a scene from like CIS or something like that. Okay, let's see. We are going to be fusing these two together. Okay, so right now I'm like working on the bodice of Niffty. Her picture is like in the corner, and it's just like a little red puffy 1950s style dress, and I am working on putting these two things together because I decided to do a lining in my bodice in case I sweat or something, the satin won't get messed up, which was part of the thought process. Also, too, it would be easier to clean and stuff like that, having this lining in place, because it protects the fabric. I did not have enough lining for my skirt, though, so that got finished a different way. But what type of murder scene do you have in mind? Like a kitchen or like something going on there? Actually, that's like a funny my scene that you are doing you want to make a diorama about that. I remember vividly when I was pregnant years ago. I don't know why I suddenly got into things like CSI and CIS. I don't know why I got into all those things, which was weird because I was like, you know, pregnant and carrying a kid, and I didn't want to like, you'd think I'd like go into cutesy stuff. No, I went into that. Started watching a lot of House when I was pregnant. So it was like all like these weird, strange happenings, and I'm like just sitting there riveted watching. I was like, what is wrong with me? And that fall I got into like ghost hunters as well because I just started watching ghost stories all Halloween season. Oh, that's so cool. I like that. That would be cool because you do have the aquarium, so you could make it look like a beach, like a lake scene. That'd be really awesome. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Slowly getting to the other side. Let's chug along. That, you know, that is the hope, especially when you're trying to make money off your creations. It's always something that makes sense. I'm sure there will be a buyer out there looking for something just like it. The one thing when it deals with art, there's always someone looking for something. You just need to make sure you find them. Now the trick is to make sure I actually get the tag in here. I did. Awesome. Okay. Pretty much. I can understand that. Okay. Wow. I made the mistake that I literally was trying to avoid. I feel like a fool. It's all right. But I just want to make sure it slides in properly, and then I'll fix it. I'll unpick it. It's not the end of the world. It's just the end of my world at the moment. Okay, so let's make sure this worked out the way it should. Oh yeah, it did. Awesome. Oh, that's very interesting. That is very interesting. Food waste. Yeah, that is a big, that's a generally larger topic that people do not talk about at all. Just so everyone understands, I did exactly what I was trying to avoid, which is this is the inside of my dress. This is supposed to be the inside right here. This is the outside. Let me flip the camera. This is the inside. This is the outside. This is supposed to be touching this, not this way. So I did it reverse. I did it the way I was trying to avoid. But we'll unpick it and get back to work. That was a mistake on my part. I probably was pinning it the right way and thought I was doing it the wrong way. So we'll just unpick it and pin it back. Thankfully, it's a relatively short seam, so it should be fine. Okay. There is a masterful way of doing this, but I don't do it because I tend to be very paranoid that I'm going to cut the fabric when I do it, so. A documentary on food waste. Have you started doing research on that, or have you always done research on that? I say this because in a few years ago I used to teach. I was an English teacher for middle school students, and one of the books we would read was about the industrial food chain and how the dangers of it and the problems within the uh, capitalist portion of the creation of our food and how we know little about it. So it's something that's always, it fascinates me because one of the things they did talk about was like the massive waste in food, and we learned about the different types of food chains. So you had like obviously the industrial organic, and then you had like the pure organic, and then you had people who foraged for their own food or they hunted for their own food. So it was pretty, it was very weird because it wasn't something a bunch of 14-year-old kids wanted to learn about, but depending how you presented it, they got really interested in it, and then after a bit they got tired of it. So I had to find ways of cutting the material down, especially the more technical scientific parts of the book. We kind of just like started learning how to not teach everything and just the important stuff. But I learned a lot about like how our food's produce, why we have so many like outbreaks of like the different like E. coli and salmonella. I learned a lot because from that book about those phenomena, which I would have never known had I not taught that book. Unpicking seams. Always fun. Always fun times. Okay, so this is the front, and I want this back here. Supposed to be right sides together. My beard. It's okay. It's okay, we'll survive. These mistakes happen. Like I said, as long as you don't cut the fabric, you tend to be able to salvage a lot of it. It's when you cut it, that's where the problems lie. So, right sides together, not opposite sides. I don't know why I thought that. Clearly, I was not thinking very well at the moment. So, we'll fix that. So, okay. I think we got it. I think I can. I think I can. Let's do this. Oh. No, don't get off. Stay. Oh no. I made a mistake. Alright. So. Anyone else doing anything intriguing? Like Emma over here? I mean, it doesn't have to be anything that fantastic. Even if you're just like coloring a book or something or reading something. Share, please share. Everyone knows what I'm doing right now. I'm making a cosplay. I want to work on, hopefully, I get to work on the Cyclops eye soon. That's going to be fun. I should see if I have a dome for it because I want to try to put a plastic dome inside the foam pieces I cut out, so it has like an eye shape and not just be a flat piece without any eye-like dimensions. So I'm very curious to see if I can get that going. We'll see what happens. I have to actually check and see what I have supply-wise, and if I don't have anything that works, I can go to the craft store, which should be easy to find a dome or something spherical at the moment, because the holidays are coming, so there's a lot of plastic domes for ornaments and stuff. So I should be able to get something that is helpful in that department. And my hair is like so, it's fading so much. But I have a hair appointment next week, so my purple should be more vibrant next week. That'll be fun. Okay, I did it correctly now. So when I open it, the finished sides are going to be facing one another, and it will look like this instead of this mess. That was a moment. It's alright, it happens. Happens to the best of us. I should have double checked it when I was, before I sewed. I should have opened up the bodice like I did just now, and it would have told me the moment I did that I had it pinned the wrong way. So you live and learn, and you kind of just go for it. Come back here. So I need to bring the presser foot a little closer. Presser foot's running away from me. Oh no, don't go in that deep. Go there. Because I still have to put the zipper in. Normally I would have put the zipper in first, but it's fine. It takes about the same effort to do it this way as putting the zipper in first. Let's see. Just chilling on a Wednesday. Getting this costume, some progress on this costume. I'm just chugging along, trying to figure things out. Okay. Let's flatten the fabric again, because we're getting that weird bunching of the fabric. One of the major tricks is just lifting with your needle down, lift up your presser foot and kind of just smooth everything out before you continue. As long as you have your needle down, raising the presser foot is fine. If you pick up the presser foot and the needles up, your fabric's just going to move everywhere, and you want to make sure you keep it in place so you don't lose where the stitch is going, because if not, then your stitch line is just gonna swerve and not be straight and even. I'm gonna make sure the fabric Just laying flat on both sides there. There we go. Okay. Okay. I need to remember to post some of the progress shots that I've been doing of this costume on Instagram. I keep forgetting. I probably should do that. Oh no, that's terrible. How did that happen? Okay, that's something I can just pick on this area. For some reason, it folded over on itself here, which we can fix. Clearly, I didn't flatten it out totally when I did that, but it's just one little area. That's not too bad. There we go. Nice and flat. Since I have it open on this side, I can do it this way. Just make sure your needle and your stitches line up, and there you go. And I'm just gonna back tack it a bit. And sew into the next line, which is on this side, and back tack it. And now it will look correct. So now, good, and in we go. So now it should be all smooth and pretty. And I even have my little handmade tag in there. So I can just slide this piece in here. And then this will be all smooth, pretty, and not have scratchy satin on my skin. But one of the things I need to do is iron this open, and then I'm going to do a stitch like this on here to keep this from flipping up as I wear it. I call that an understitch. Understitches are great. Let me iron my skirts so I can get them ready to put on the bodice. Ironing time. if you haven't hydrated any moment recently, you might want to hydrate now. I find myself trying to remind myself to do that every so often whenever I'm on stream. All right, off to ironing the skirt. I had to add water to my iron. I wasn't getting any steam. Oh, wait. Oh, I have no idea what happened. Hold on. Oops. I don't even know what you said. To be honest, it must have automatically done it. Sorry about that. I don't even know. Oh. Sorry. Yeah, no, I have it on like auto mod because it's a small channel, so I don't have a lot of traction most of the time, and just in case, because I've gotten quite a few bots here and there, I just have it like on auto mod. Nothing against you. It was just something I have up and running. Yes, if one needs to partake in that, there's nothing wrong with that either. I mean, it works out sometimes. Whatever you need. Yeah, no, I saw a whole bunch of stuff and I was like, what's going on here? That's funny. Yeah. No. Yeah, I just tend to have the bots running and it's just like, wait, what happened? I was confused. Yeah, no. We don't run that kind of shit, but we also don't want to have to deal with like other annoying, hateful stuff that might pop up, so better safe than sorry sometimes. Because the way everything is on these platforms, one never knows what might unearth. Okay. I'm right now just pinning the... I know. What? 2024? We got hate on the internet? Really? What do you mean? That's impossible. Right now I'm just pinning the pockets in place so I can sew them into the waistband of the dress. So does this dress need pockets? No. Do I want pockets? Yes. This is why we're putting the pockets in. Purely because I want them, not for any other reason. Oh, I forgot to understitch this. How dare I do that? Terrible. Your seamstress skills are are lacking. Lacking. Oh God, again. Jeez. Well done. That is wild. It is after you. It's after you, Emma. It's after you today. It is after you. I need to fix this. Hold on. It's bothering me. I don't think you are, to be quite honest. And I'm like, why is it being so mean to you? Come on, bot. Don't be so mean. Let me hop on. Let me see what I can do. Hold on. It's just overly sensitive bot. That's what it is. It's an overly sensitive bot today. Let's see. Oh wait, no, this isn't where I wanted to go. Everything is kind of awesome, I think. It's very warm in my room right now. I think because I have the iron on. An American bot overly. You know what? You might have a point there. You might have a point there. It's an overly sensitive bot today. That's what happens. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. I am adjusting it now. Let's see if it works. But I have no idea what's going on. It's like very like sensitive. I could imagine. I feel like a lot of people have been doing that today. I feel like a lot of therapists and such were like getting themselves ready for today itself because I'm sure a ton of people had to unload. That's one of the reasons why I was like, I'm just gonna come on and do some chill, cozy times because I don't want to deal at the moment. So I'm just chilling. They see their own therapist, hero. Honestly, they always say if your therapist doesn't have a therapist, you need a new therapist because they need to unload just as much as everyone else. My chair got stuck. Let's see. I'm like definitely just making sure everything's okay. I think we should be okay for now. Hopefully the bot isn't very overly sensitive. Yeah, I kind of wonder like where does the therapy chain end? Because they do say that. I do need a new chair. I also need a new desk, hero. Just remember that. I need a new desk as well. But yeah, the therapy chain is an interesting chain because it's like you're supposed to find a therapist who sees a therapist, but then that therapist needs to see another therapist. And where does it end? It's like then you get meet the grand poobah of therapies. I don't know. I know you haven't stopped me, but at the same time, you know how I am. I won't buy it until you tell me. Enough, enough. And you're right. I'm not going to argue with you, Kiro, about the fast food. Okay, I am going to iron my facing and then fix the facing. I have to there's things I'm forgetting, steps I'm forgetting. But thankfully, I'm remembering what to do now. So there we go. Let's go iron. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've heard it's been hot over there. You should enjoy it while it's still nice, the weather. Okay. Let's see if this worked and if it's comfy. I probably will not be wearing this with a t-shirt underneath it, but we gotta try it on somehow. Ah, thank you. It's my little puffy top and everything, so. I feel like the neck is pulling, but I feel once I ease it and like trim into it, it'll feel better. Who is landscaping right now? Like, I thought the landscapers came already. Something's going on. It's pulling in a weird way in the back. I'm confused. But yeah, it works. I'm confused. I don't know who it is. It might be our neighbors just doing their own landscaping. Okay. Okay, I'm going to trim this a bit to give it more ease. Let's do that. So grouchy, Kiro, so grouchy. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think it needs ease. That's what it is more than anything. Yeah. I'm just going to trim into this with my pinking shears, because then that should help. That should remove the excess tension in the dress around the neckline. Her Curte, okay, Curte, gotcha. Good to know. Okay. Okay, we got a little more ease in here. Let me trim off a little bit on this side, even though I gotta be careful because I got the zipper I gotta install in here in a minute. So, let's see. Hopefully once I do the other line, it'll be okay. And by other line, I mean stitching down the facing, the understitch. Oh, that's so much better. Not choking me nearly as much. I think part of it is it's just I need to like adjust this. Okay. There we go. Okay. So many small, tiny details go into these things that nobody sees or cares about. But I do. I like him. I like having these little details in place. Okay. So we're just gonna pin this side down so I can sew this down. Why is this? That pin is like way too thick. What is happening there? Oh, we'll be hitting the witching hour soon. Ooh, the witching hour. The witching hour for me is when I have to start signing off so I can gather my child from school. That is the witching hour. No, a twister is, well, kind of. The twister that is my child. Ten cuidado con los vacas. Los vacas están volando. The cows, the cows. Watch out for the cows. They're flying. Flying cows. Okay. I just realized none of these pins are holding anything down, so I'm just gonna freehand this one. Might be easier. My scissors over here before I start pulling down. Okay. Can we do this? Probably. I don't see why not. Okay. Line up the stitch with that. Since I don't have my other one with me, I will just use this to hold the fabric down. Oh no. Oh. Has nothing to do with me. Whew. For a moment there, I thought I lost the thread. Okay. I'm just gonna do this nice and slow. No reason to rush it, really. Take the time. Okay. I'm in the zone. I'm focused. I'm not looking up if that's the reason. I kind of want to make this as smooth and as easy as possible. Okay. Come on, stay in there. Let's see. How did this work? Ooh, she looked pretty. Okay. She looks nice. She looks pretty. And now it won't keep curling up. So And once the zipper goes in, I'll be able to close it properly, but for now, she's not closing because she doesn't have a zipper. But she looks cute, and my tag is sticking out. I'm gonna have to tack that in. Oh my gosh, it's so cute, the little homemade tag. That's right there, it just says homemade. That's adorable. Okay, so we got that in. Oh, we still have a few minutes. Let's stop at 3. I'm going to, I was going to understitch these pockets. That's what I was going to do because I forgot to do that before. I should have done that before, but clearly did not think about that. I mean, I really don't have to. Yeah, we'll just do it as close as we can. Because that would be helpful. Do not recommend doing it this way, but I completely forgot to do it before. Oh no, I am doing it the wrong way, I just realized. Well, there you go. That's why I don't recommend doing this. I recommend doing it before. Okay, I have to do it on the actual lining, not the fashion fabric. I don't know why I was doing it the wrong way. Clearly my mind was not thinking there. You could tell I'm like I'm hitting my capacity for sewing for today. This is why it's always good to know like how much you could actually sew for. Because sometimes, or craft in general, because sometimes you can't craft for as long as you think you can. And I know people sometimes have deadlines and stuff, and it's just, this is why we should try to pace ourselves the best we can. Because sometimes our brains start saying, nope, can't keep focusing on that. Gotta shift. And then there's some people that can just do it straight, no problem. I am not one of those. After a certain time, my brain is just like, you could probably keep going, but it's ill advised to do so. And I think right now I'm hitting that little spot in my brain is saying, you know, I know you like this. I know you find it therapeutic, but you might want to step away from the machine for a few hours. And if you want to return, then do that. But for now, you might be hitting your point, my lady. So again, I'm just doing this to keep the fabric from, like the lining fabric from showing as I wear the skirt. It helps hold it back, hold it in place. Put this here. Now that I did that, I think I'm gonna just do the serging of the pockets real fast, because that's not a big swoop that I have to do. It's a very small amount. And then I don't have to worry about finishing these later. They'll be finished, so that's a good thing. Okay, cool. I was checking because I didn't know if the tension setting would work for this fabric, but it does. Sorry, my serger makes the table shake more than the sewing machine. I have to get a mat or something to help stifle the shaking. Kind of weird that the serger makes it shake, but not the sewing machine. I think because the sewing machine is just has a more powerful motor. Don't fall down. Okay. It's not going to be a perfect one because I did it differently than I should have, but it's fine. It'll be good enough. And since I'm not competing in this, as long as it looks really nice and pretty, good enough is fine by me right now, so. I also really didn't have to serge the pockets too much or overlock them, because this fabric, even though it frays, it doesn't really cause much damage. It doesn't like fall apart like the skirt fabric, so that satin continues to unravel, but the cotton doesn't. So the pockets would have been more resistant to that, but just to make sure that they will have a long-lasting stitch, and also just in case anything happens to the actual stitch, it becomes undone. The serging will help stop anything from falling out of the pockets, so because the pockets are finished as well, so it has an extra layer of durability. There's the witching hour signal. 3 o'clock. Okay. Since it is 3 o'clock and I just serged this, huzzah! Okay, I didn't get to put the top and the bottom together, but they are finished to the point of putting them together. So that's exciting. I finally have 2 halves to bring together, and that makes me happy. It is now 3 o'clock. I unfortunately have to head off and go do my thing. Let's see, there are quite a few people up and about right now. Let's see. We have a few people. Again, we have a lot of crocheters online at the moment. I think I'm gonna pick. There is one who is making Umbreon, so that's kind of cool. We are going to be we're going to raid the Sarcastic Kitten. They are making a nice Umbreon right now. It's a family-friendly channel, which we love here. I like family-friendly channels. And we got some work done on Niffty. I'm excited. I'm happy. I hope to continue working on this again on Friday. Thank you all for joining me, whether you were in chat, whether you were lurking, whether you were just chilling with the vibes. I'm happy. I hope I was able to bring some calm and peace to you today. I know a lot of people needed it, and I continue to wish you the best. Again, if you want to follow, I'd be much appreciated. If you want to just pop in again, I'll appreciate it. And we are going to head off and check out the Sarcastic Kitten and see how their progress with their Umbreon is doing. So have a wonderful day. I will be back on Friday for some more crafting. And tomorrow night, I will be joined by Usako Buns to play Boulder's Gate and have chaos, because sometimes we need that too. All right, have a great day, everyone. Say hi to the Sarcastic Kitten, and I hope it gives you just as many chill vibes as I did right now. So, have a lovely day, everyone. Take care. Bye.